Good morning from a very blustery Devon today. It's a little bit windy, so I might have to walk around like this to guard the microphone. Change of format today. If you look down here to the slidey bar, you'll see that there's a couple of different topics and it's split up into chapters. This is so that if you don't particularly want to watch a particular chapter, you don't have to. You can just slide along the video and watch the part of the video that you are most interested in. I have in the past tried to stick to one video or one topic per video. That seems to work quite well, but sometimes topics are quite short in how you can actually talk about them, and I'm not the best talker in the world, so I thought it might be better if I combined a pair of topics and see if that works for you or not. Anyway, back on to today's first topic, which will be planting out main crop potatoes. I realise this is not early, so this is nothing dynamic as far as time-wise is concerned, but the manner in which I'm doing it is a little bit differently. First of all, what I've done is I've grown small plants, which means that I've got a couple weeks ahead of the frost. Normally that's much earlier than what it is now. I'm just late on everything this year. Never mind. But the main reason I've done it for this year was these plants have now got a leap head start on the voles that I have a problem with, which is the second subject. These will merge in a little bit, but there we go. This was a mistake, because this is actually Red Duke of York first early. I didn't mean to do it. I don't know what was in my thought process that day, but there we are. I've done it. The ones I really wanted to get away was the main crop. I've got Maris Piper, which is down by my feet here, that we'll come across in a minute, and I've got a trial going on in my roof stout area. I've removed all the hay from the roof stout area to try and deny the voles a home whilst I plant out the potatoes, get them established, and then I'll put the hay back. That's why the mounds are there. So that's my current plan. Let's see if that works. Now then, I'll quickly show you over here what I've done, because it's a potato trial and there's various forms of natural fertility that I've done across, planting the same variety across the rows, and then I'll measure the overall yield. The first one is just hay with seaweed underneath. The second one is mature compost with seaweed mixed in and composted down. The next one is from the temporary bins, which was the apple and vegetable fed worm finished compost that was originally bracken compost. The next 4 rows are going to be 2026 compost, only 2 months old. This one row is being mulched with seaweed, kelp. The other 3 rows are not mulched with kelp. The next one is the green waste compost that's been bought in, just that on its own, and the same again, green waste compost, but over the top of kelp this time. The last row will be just hay as a background fertility check to see how much or how big the difference is for these different composts. Remember? Okay, so it's time to get planting. Now then, roof stout is basically no dig anyway for me. So what I'm doing here is I'm planting directly on top of the soil, and then the root ball is being covered up with the compost. Later on, this compost and the potato will be covered up with hay. So it's on top of the soil, and then what I found last year, these potatoes were very happy to sit across the top of the soil and grow into the hay and put the tubers there. It led to very clean crop. I'd be quite keen to replicate that this year again. We'll have to see. Obviously this year I'm doing the compost mounds to start them off with. I see that as an improvement on the pure roof stake method. We'll see what difference it makes, because we have got the two beds that we can compare against. And I'm also going to do one of my old buckets alongside, which is a 3 litre bucket, only organic matter in it. Seaweed compost first of all, then a little fresh seaweed, then a little bit more seaweed compost again, and then the final mix is a mixture of 50-50 soil and the reused compost that was put through worms and food scraps that you've seen me do in previous videos. So there's a lot of potential nutrition within this soil for the potatoes, and they will possibly be fed, but it kind of depends on how the actual foliage looks as it goes along. I'll play it by ear. Really intend just to put it in water. The reason why I'm not using buckets so much is purely because I don't have a ready water source, so I can't water very easily. Just a couple of buckets should make a difference. And this is back to the beds, and this is how those first 2 rows do look. Let's hope the voles stay away for a couple of weeks. This is my number 1 deterrent, which is a kite, and it's working really well. It's deterring the voles that are on. You can hear the noise. Obviously that goes on all night, and it works great. So well that the only time I took it down, which was before the last gales in the last weekend, I had catastrophic results. Within 24 hours, the voles had completely stripped my bed, digging down and eking out all the potatoes. They literally got through a bed in one night. They did actually leave a few potatoes behind on the surface, as you can see now, but there were a minority of potatoes left. The rest were just gone and probably devoured it in the comfort of their own home. It could have been rats, I don't know what it was. So that was evidence that the kite was actually winning, because it didn't happen whilst the kite was up. The fence has been a success. The temporary fence, huge amount of work, probably won't be doing that again, but it worked to get the crop away. So I'll leave it there for another week, and then it returned to normal. The bit that didn't work was the glass jars with food in the bottom. Not because they didn't work, it's because some other pest decided to oik them out onto the ground. So obviously that wouldn't be rats or mice. I would suggest that might be something like a raven. They're intelligent enough. I have taken up the tarps now. Put one tarp down the bottom because purely because it was too windy to float it up. So that's taken away the vole's habitat. So that should help matters. Another way that I've done it is these small potatoes plants. These are new earlies. Well, I hope that format works for you. It seems to be of interest to me to try and give a better, longer video. Fingers crossed the voles stay away from the main crop potatoes. Oh, I'm a bit worried about leaving them ready. My little babies. Fool. The earlies are all in, as you see. These are the red Turkish what's flowery. The voles do seem to have a particularly good like for flowery potatoes rather than Charlottes. They didn't seem to go too much on the Charlottes. Fussy voles, would you believe it? Anyway, look, thanks a lot for joining me. I hope this has been of interest. I hope the format has been of interest. Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.